everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's, yes, Mr. Butler? It's Tuesday, June 4th. It's about 8:25 a.m. This meeting is called to order. The director, please call the roll.
Mr. Monroe.
Here.
Ms. Winbush.
Here.
Mr. Wasco.
Here.
Mr. Beatrice.
Here.
Mr. McCabe is absent due to illness.
Yes, he has our condolences to the McCabe family on the loss of his mother-in-law. We have in our possession the meeting minutes from the May 24th special regular meeting. What is the board's?
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. Is there any discussion? Director, call the roll.
Mr. Monroe.
Yes.
Ms. Winbush.
Yes.
Mr. Wasco.
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice.
Yes.
Under item 3, the chairman's report, of course, this is our regular monthly meeting, but we're also here to consider the certification of the validity and sufficiency of the candidates who may have filed to run as independents in the November primary election. Do we have those, do we have a report of the candidates who
Yes,
filed?
we do. And we have
The general election, yes. I think we just finished the primary.
Yes.
we have
The
several
winner,
disqualifications.
the winner's on our mind.
Wow.
What's your report, Joyce?
We have several disqualifications, so I imagine we should deal with those first before we certify.
Okay.
The first one is for the first ward, Mike Wright. He voted a Democratic in the primary, which is absolutely a flaw.
Makes it difficult for him to complain, to claim status as an independent. Yes. Is there a motion to disqualify Mr.
I
Ray?
so move.
Second.
Any discussion? Director, call the roll?
Mr. Monroe.
Yes.
Ms. Winbush.
Yes.
Mr. Wasco.
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice.
Yes.
The second one we have is for the second ward council, Cecil Monroe. Cecil Monroe, when he brought his petition, did not have the ward filled in for the city of Youngstown, what ward he was running in. He filled it in front of Danny. That is absolutely a flaw because it has to be filled in before he circulates the petition to the voters.
Sure, the voters have to have clear notice
Of
as
what
to,
ward is running,
as
yes.
to who they're nominating, yes.
Question.
Yes.
So he filled it out in front of Danny,
He filled out,
the board he was running in
Right.
front of Danny,
right, at the counter.
but we still accepted his petitions?
Well, we can't, it's not up to Danny to disqualify him, it's to disqualify him.
He insisted.
Yeah. Did he come in at the last minute, Danny? I mean,
Yes, yes.
the filing deadline?
I believe it's stamped on his petition, the date,
Yeah.
May 6th. Yeah.
Yeah, had he gotten started earlier and filed earlier, he could have had the opportunity to refile, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there a motion to disqualify Mr. Monroe? Not Monroe, Monroe.
I so move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Director, call the roll?
Mr. Monroe.
Yes.
Ms. Winbush.
Yes.
Mr. Wasco.
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice.
Yes.
So,
So, may I ask a question before we go on? This sheet you're giving us, their names are on it, so we cross them off?
Yes, cross this off. Youngstown, third ward, Ronald Shad. Ronald Shad is basically the same issue as Mr. Monroe. He did not have it filled in. He went outside, filled it in, and brought the petition back to Danny.
Well, may I ask Danny a couple questions?
Sure, absolutely, that's why she's here.
Danny, when he left and came back, how much time had elapsed from the time he went out and came
It
back?
was probably 45 minutes to an hour.
Did he say that he went back to those people's homes and,
No, he did not tell me that. No.
And then the signature.
Well, how many signatures were filed?
Quite a few.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's been impossible to go to everyone's.
They were filed with
And every
6.
petition did not have an award on it. He had to fill the award in on every single petition that he filed with us.
And he didn't have it on every one?
No.
I move to
I did
disqualify Mr. Shad.
Yeah, when you look at the,
Second.
yeah, it was clearly, you know, it was clearly done after the fact. There's a motion, there's a second. Any discussion? Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich?
Yes.
The next one is in the fifth ward, Lee David Cupio. He did not have enough ballot signatures. He filed 26. He needed 25, only 22 are valid.
Wow.
And his name is
Cupio?
David.
Yeah.
David.
I move to disqualify.
Second.
There's a motion to disqualify Mr. Cupio for lack of signatures. Any discussion? Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich?
Affirmative.
And the last one is David Starr in the sixth ward. He voted a party ballot, Democratic Party ballot.
It's a fatal flaw. I move to disqualify.
Second.
There's a motion to disqualify Mr. Starr. And there's a second. Any other discussion? Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich?
Yes.
There are a couple candidates that are civil servants, but it's not up to the board to decide that. It's up to the employer to tell us, you know,
Sure.
to file the complaint or whatever with the candidates. So we haven't heard from any employers. I think one has resigned, as I read it in the Vindicator, and I don't know. Danny, who was the other one?
Well, the other one was Pepino,
Oh,
but his
okay.
petition's
It's
invalid anyway.
Okay,
Yes.
Very good. Anything else, Joyce?
that's it for candidates.
Is there a motion to certify as independent candidates the remaining candidates who filed?
I so move.
Second.
Any discussion? Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich?
Yes.
Let's see, moving on to the director's report. Joyce?
Yes, I would like the board to go into executive session for litigation purposes. We have to make a motion for that.
I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of litigation.
I have a question on that. Does that mean we get to kick David Skolnick out?
Yep.
Yes.
Strong second.
And turn off the camera and the mic, please.
We would anticipate
There's-
taking any action.
Any idea how long we'll be? Not long.
Few minutes.
Take a break, everyone.
Okay.
There's a motion and a second that the board go into executive session to have conversations with
Does the
the...
Secretary of State's liaison get to stay?
Whatever you
No,
like.
no
No?
one stays.
No. That we go into executive session for discussion about pending political action. It's all political. Legal action. Director call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich?
Yes.
It's accessing.
Oh, we lost half of our crowd.
Okay. Very good. There was a motion to come out of executive session. The motion was made by Mr. Wasco, second by Tracy. And we're back on the record. Let's see, is there any unfinished, or anything else in the director's report this morning?
No, I do have some unfinished business though.
Very good. Any unfinished business to consider?
Yes, everything was approved by the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State signed our petition for.
That's the voting equipment.
Correct. I got that back yesterday. We are getting delivery on our new equipment on June 25th.
Wow.
So we're gonna have it
Congratulations.
on everything,
Everything?
everything.
June 25th.
June 25th, so we're gonna have we have a lot to do before June 25th. They're gonna take back our old equipment. I'm actually negotiating with them on what they're going to give us for our old equipment. I know what we paid for it, I know what it's worth, I know what condition it's in. When we were going, before DAS got involved, they were gonna give us $100,000 just for our DS 200s. So I'm hoping that the bid comes back more, you know, the money they're going to give us. But they do not want to give us money, they want to give us credit. So with the credit, since we have a 5-year maintenance agreement on all the equipment, that's the, Secretary of State looked at, I am thinking about the poll books that they offer, but they're coming out with a new version the first of the year. So poll books, the first of the year will be okay. I've got to see how it works out and what the cost is going to be. I do like the no ink iPads, but, it all comes down to dollars and cents. And if we have a credit that's,
Sure.
towards the poll books, we'll just have to go with the poll books.
So this really resolves everything except for the poll books.
Except for the poll books.
Yes.
It resolves everything except for the poll
Right.
books, correct. And I will let you know, what the figure is.
Thank you, Danny.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you, Danny.
You're welcome, David.
So that's that. So,
And that delivery date again was what?
June 25th, they're gonna send a semi. They're
Jeez.
going to deliver new equipment. We're gonna pack up the old equipment. They're gonna take the old equipment back. It's coming from Omaha.
Thank you.
So, that's where we are. That's basically what we've got planned
Oh,
for
I
the
see.
summer. And then, of course, training will begin, for some of our employees.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't think they would move that quickly, but.
I didn't either,
But they're ready.
They're
Okay.
ready.
Very good.
That's good because it'll give us a jump up on getting instructions ready, things like that for the training classes.
Very good. Anything else, Joyce?
That's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Any other unfinished business to consider?
I think,
Mr. Wasco?
between now and our next meeting, Tracy, and I will reconvene our committee at looking at some of the employee needs and assessments for next year. So we'll have a report and maybe even a recommendation.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Wasco. Any new business to consider this morning? Any board communications to report?
None, Mr. Chairman.
Anything for the good of the order? Any public comment this morning? Very good. Our next meeting is set for Tuesday, July 2nd at 9 a.m.
8 a.m., or did you change?
I'm sorry, 8
You
a.m.
want it at 9 a.m.?
Are you used to sleeping in or something, or
I think
what?
this morning I did. July 2nd, 8 a.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
When is the 4th?
On Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
That'll work. There's a motion. Was there a second?
Second.
Director, call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Peters?
We are adjourned.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.